It's time to talk about the elephant in the room, ARM Holdings, ticker symbol ARM. ARM Holdings, just like NVIDIA and AMD, is another huge AI name that you want to keep watch on for. This company designs microprocessors, IP, and related technology and software. They also sell developmental tools and licenses within the technology and products internationally. This company is based out of England, and actually back in 2020, you might have remembered this name because they were about to be acquired by NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA had plans to acquire ARM for $40 billion in cash and stock, but the deal fell through. It was going to be the deal of the century for AI, but unfortunately it fell through due to regulatory needs and whatnot. But now we can see that ARM has no problems whatsoever. The stock has been on a rally. Now, the stock hasn't been public very long. It started back in late October, early November when it first opened an IPO around $40 and then continued to rally. We had our first earnings report call and it popped. It jumped from that $70 area all the way up to around $160 before pulling back. And then we had a lot of sellers when they bought in before IPO and they were locked into their contracts after the 60 or 90 days, whatever it is, they were able to sell out. So we had a lot of sellers for a while leaving the stock. And then we had the big turnaround with another earnings report down here, as you can see, which caused the stock to start its massive rally. And basically since end of April, early May, this stock has been non-stop rallying. And currently we're at highs of $177. I don't see this thing slowing down anytime soon. Today we have pulled back a little bit from highs up that 179, but if you look at the past 20 days, we're still in an overall uptrend. It's a still very healthy setup I can see here, and so I like the odds that this continues to move a little bit higher, but I think that a big pullback is coming very soon. Taking a look at ARM Holdings, currently they have a PE ratio of 112, okay? That's pretty hot. But you really can't take a PE ratio into consideration when this is a big AI name, and just like NVIDIA and just like AMD, they're all very, very strong right now, and there's really not much saying as to what could actually happen. I mean, NVIDIA had its 10-for-1 stock split and then continued to rally another $20, which, put into perspective, if the stock split didn't happen, this would be up to a $1,400 name. So the real premise of this video is to talk about ARM and as to whether or not this is something that you should buy into now, maybe wait a little bit for a pullback. Are you going to go short term and just take some trades on it, or are you going to go long term and add it to your portfolio? So step one, yes, I think this is a long term name. I think there's three names you want to hold in the AI space, at least bigger names, and that's NVIDIA, AMD, and ARM. And then on top of that, I think this is also a great trading opportunity in the future. Right now, we got to see this thing pull back down. It's hot right now, and I am not jumping into this thing. I don't want to touch it at all. I'm not even in this long term yet. I missed some entry opportunities I should have entered a while back, and I'm not in it. So I'm sitting on the sidelines and waiting until we see a pullback. What type of price point are we looking at? Well, it's kind of hard to say right now because it is so hot, and same thing with NVIDIA and AMD. I want to see some sort of overall market AI pullback, and I think that a good price point to get into it would be this 130, 140 area if we can see those numbers again. But nothing is stopping this thing from going to 190, 200, and 200 plus, and we never see this 170 area again. This could be a great deal where we're at currently right now, but we just don't know. But I believe that ARM is a name in your long-term portfolio that you want to hold on to. On top of that, in the short term, I think it's a great trading opportunity. It's a great swing trade. I mean, as you can see here, if you buy in at any point, when it starts to move above the SMA line, there's a good opportunity where you can hold it for a few days or a few weeks and you make a profit. Same thing in the short term on the daily chart. This name is very, very volatile. We have obviously down days where we do pull back quite a bit. Like today we're down 5%, but yesterday we jumped from this 158 area and rallied throughout the day and finished up to 177. Now obviously it was a strong day. We were up almost 10% at one point, but doesn't matter. Any stock, same thing with NVIDIA, has strong days. Like yesterday, NVIDIA rallied from 130 all the way up to 136. It's just the type of industry and sector we're in right now. And taking a look at ARM Holdings and the stock price forecast, You can see we have price targets all over the place. We have low price targets down to $85, so there's a lot of risk right now. We have an average price target of around 128, and then we have high price targets up to 180. So that's also another big concern for longer term investors is right now we may be a little too hot to jump in. We have a lot of downside right now, and I think that it is a little overvalued for where it's currently trading. So I really want to get in on this name, but I definitely think that this is a name that you don't want to jump in right now. I think we have a lot of opportunities for this thing to pull back, as well as Nvidia and AMD. So if you're sitting on the sidelines with any one of those names, let's just make it clear that there is going to be a pullback eventually. It may not be a crazy stock drops down to like $60 and you can get in on a great deal, but you got to take it into perspective and see that any type of pullback, such as this right here, is a great pullback opportunity to add some shares. And then if it continues to fall, add more shares. As long as you're long term, it doesn't matter if you continue to add shares because you have a long term vision on it. The only time it's a bad idea to add on long term or add and continue to add when stocks continue to fall is if you have no plan and you just are buying it because you don't want to continue to lose money and you want to average down. That's just a bad idea and it's not going to end well for you. But with ARM, if you're really looking to go long term with this name, I think that there's opportunities where this thing it's very volatile. It goes on big runs but pulls back hard, goes on big runs, pulls back hard, and you can see that multiple times. And I think that we're starting to see quite a big pullback here today. We're down almost 5%. But I think that there's going to be a more overall pullback within the sector of AI and Nvidia especially. We're going to see some names pull back, but I think that this is a great long-term name to get into. I think that you definitely have to add in some shares when we can see the right potential opportunity, and I'm thinking around this 140 area would be great to see if we could get a pullback down to that area. And then on top of that, for short-term traders, this is a great trading opportunity, no matter whether it's the day trading or swing trading. If you're swing trading, again, wait for it to pull back a little bit, maybe closer to this red SMA line down here. Obviously, we want to trade when it gets closer to a resistance or support area, and right now we're kind of just trading up in the middle of no man's land. We broke through this resistance area, which was touched a couple times around this 150 area, but since then, we really are lost right now. We don't have a good support and resistance area to kind of trade off of. And because of that, I'm a little concerned. Oh, you guys can't see that over here. There you go. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. There's really not a whole lot. It's also just been trading in less than a year now. So there's really not a whole lot we can take into consideration when trying to figure out support and resistance. But we are currently trading above this resistance, which is now considered support because we held above it. And until we pull back down and break through below it, it's going to continue being support. But once we break below it, then it'll be resistance. And I think that this middle section right here is a really good area that will give us opportunities to get a better deal. So with ARM Holdings, I definitely think this is a name you want to watch out for. We don't have earnings for a while. We just reported back in May, and it caused the stock to kind of start its run up here. So I think we got a good summer of just, you know, there's opportunities to day trade and swing trade, and there's opportunities to buy in any type of dip. And I think that if we can get this closer to 150, 145, 140, that'd be great opportunities. But again, you can't wait for the perfect moment. They always say, don't time the market. It's time within the market. It's true. You want to be just within the market. It doesn't matter if you get the perfect entry or exit point. It's all about just being involved. So guys, let me know what you guys think about the stock ARM down below, as well as Nvidia and AMD. I know there's a lot of big names out there right now, and they're all blowing up, but I think those are three big names you want in your portfolio for the long term. Let me know what you guys think about the stocks, or what stocks you guys want me to go over in the future. So just real quick, I was just editing the video and I decided to jump back on my TD Ameritrade account, and wow, everything's pulling back. ARM, Nvidia, AMD, all the big AI names right now are pulling back. ARM is down currently 9.25%, down 16 points. We opened this morning at 173. When I was making the video today, it was around 169, 170. We're down to 158 currently, and we still have another half an hour of trading. So let's keep watching it. I still think that 140 to 150 range is a good area to buy into, but I'm still waiting for it to get below this 150 area before I pull the trigger on any shares. So let's just keep a watch on it and see what's going to happen. But I like the odds that this one continues to pull back tomorrow and potentially even early next week, and I think we can jump on some good long-term shares for this one.